Hey guys, Jim here with Simple Life. Welcome to another installment of Tool Time Tuesday. So Robin from RD Knives reached out and asked if I'd be interested in one of his Carbide Platens, and I said yes. Just look at that thing. So this Tool Time Tuesday is obviously fairly niche for people that have 2x72 belt grinders, which by the way, I think is one of the most versatile tools out there. I use this thing for knife making, obviously, but also for so many other things. I would rather have a 2x72 than a bench grinder any day. Now, most 2x72 belt grinders come with a mild steel platen, and after a while, they start to dish out. I'm gonna bring you in real tight, and I'll show you. You can kind of see the wear on there. But if we come in with a straight edge and a flashlight, you can actually see how bad it is. You can see that dishing right there. That's no bueno. And that dishing will have an effect on your bevels. There are a few other solutions to this. One is to just keep on buying pieces of mild steel and replacing your platen when they get worn out. Another one I've done in the past is to put a piece of ceramic glass over top of it. But these are a little bit fragile, and I actually cracked this one. You can see that there. So the ultimate fix is a carbide platen. These carbide platens will last for years and years and years and still remain nice and smooth. You're really not going to wear this thing out. So let's put it on. Just loosen off these two bolts at the back. I could always just flip it around and use this side, but I'm just going to end up with the same problem. That is fairly significant. Now this platen does have a top and bottom. You see he's got these two bolts that are there just as an added security because the belt's going to be running this way, so we're going to want these on the bottom. These are a little short, we need some longer bolts. So I just went out to my local hardware store, grabbed some bolts, but they're a little too long, so I'm just going to cut them down. All right. Just going to make sure they're not too long. Nope, that's good. I'm going to loosen this guy off. I'm going to take this whole thing off. So much easier. All right, so I'm just going to use a straight edge to line it up from side to side. Use this big straight edge and line it up. I like to have mine just slightly proud of the wheels. There we go. Well, let's give it a bit of a test. Boy, that belt is funky. That is nice. So this here is just a piece of scrap metal. I want to see what this is going to be like. Well, I've ground this thing pretty much to 0. So we're going to need to stop right there. But that platen feels really good. It's kind of hard to convey the feeling. Like if you have a brand new platen, you use it, as it wears out, you kind of get used to it. And then when you switch from one that's got dishing to a brand new flat one, even if it's mild steel, you can feel the difference. It just feels different. And I love that feeling, the fresh platen feeling. And hopefully this thing is going to maintain that feeling for years and years and years to come. I was actually doing a little research on carbide platens, and the internet says that often those will outlast the owner of the tool. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but they definitely are the best way to go. And then I wanted to do one in a jig so that I could see, you know, eliminating human error, how flat it is. That is pretty darn flat. The belt is fairly shot, but you see that light line is pretty much straight. Wow, that thing is cool. I'm just curious what it looks like after, I don't know, 10 minutes of grinding. Let's have a look. So we do have a little bit of a buildup, but that just wipes right off. Look at that. It's like it's brand spanking new. One thing they do say is every so often you'll want to come in here with a cleaner and clean up any of the residue that gets built up, but check that out. That's a nice platen. Well, I'm super excited to have that carbide platen, and I was actually just talking with Robin on the old Instagram, and he said that these things do not wear out at all. And I believe him. You know, carbide is a tough material used for things like this. I'll put a link down below where you can pick one of these up from his website. And thank you so much for sending this to me, Robin. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're frustrated with going through mild steel platens, or if you've had issues with ceramic like I have, cracking, you know, if you had a surface grinder, you could just keep regrinding yours until they got so thin, but eventually they are just going to wear out. So if you do a lot of knife making, I think this is a very well worth upgrade. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Oh, new shirts.